Hey, Corey here from Y'all Always Gone. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. We're not a tech channel by any means, but we use tech in a lot of our travels. So I take my drone everywhere I go. I have the DJI Mavic Pro, the original one, and it's a phenomenal piece of equipment. I purchased it originally as a hobby. And then when I first purchased it, they weren't even allowed on cruise ships. I ended up doing some research and found out, I think it was in January of 2018, that January 2018, that they changed it to where you can bring it on the ship. You can't fly it on the ship, but you can take it into port, and as long as you adhere to the local regulations of the country where you're in, you can have at it. And I've shot some amazing flyaway videos. Those are my favorites, but you can do any kind of video you want. I've taken pictures and video of the ships that we've cruised on while we're in port, but my favorite are the flyaway videos, and I'll post some of the ones we did at the end of this video. But I got so many questions about how you like it, which one is it, because people have seen cheap ones and things like that, and I lose them, or they go all in crazy directions. And so I just want to do a quick review, as quick as I can. I know I get long-winded sometimes. A quick review of the one that I have. Okay, so again, it's the DJI Mavic Pro. I bought it with the Fly More combo, which means it came with a carrying case, it came with a car charger, it came with a multi-charger, it came with extra batteries, and with the insurance, I think I paid $1,398 out of the door. The device itself, you can buy controller, drone, one battery for $999. But I highly encourage, especially if you're going to use it for travel, encourage getting the Fly More combo, at least one extra battery. And I definitely encourage the insurance, because while it does have some obstacle avoidance, which I'll touch on a little later in the video, there's still the possibility that you could wreck it. Now, the insurance doesn't cover lost or stolen, but as long as you have something to turn in, it covers all types of damage, from gimbal damage to propeller damage, water damage. If you crash in the ocean, as long as you can grab it out and have something to turn in, they'll replace it up to 2 times per year. So definitely encourage the insurance. So the first thing is, this is the case that DJI sent with the Fly More combo. Really compact. Does have a few pockets here and there. And then you're supposed to put your controller in this. This protects the joysticks of your controller. Controller goes down in one side. The drone actually folds up small enough to fit in this bag, which is part of the reason I bought this one instead of the Phantom. Now, by the time I added the Fly More combo to my drone, it was the starting price of the Phantom, which is DJI's top of the line consumer drone. Has a few capabilities and things that the Mavic doesn't, but it's not nearly as portable. So I'm not going to talk much about the Phantom in this video. This is more about the Mavic, and the reason I bought it is because I knew I would be traveling with it, and I like the portability. So you'll see when I pull it out of the case in a minute how small it is. Okay, so the reason I also bought a different case is because while this is nice and compact, when you start adding extra batteries, you can get one battery over here, one battery over there, and then one battery in the drone. I started just adding so much extra stuff that this wasn't enough. Extra memory card, extra propellers. This is great for around town, or you just want to have it in the back of the car in case you come across something where you can put the drone up and get a shot or take a video. This would be great. But for what I need in organizational purposes, I went with another case that I found on Amazon. So anyway, this is the case that you'll get, though, if you get the Fly More combo from DJI. It has the Mavic branding, it has DJI branding all over it. It's nice, but I don't use it. So I'll slide it over there. This is the one I use. I bought it from again, off Amazon, and for the most part, it carries about everything I want. There's not really a place for my multi-charger, but I just sit it on top and zip it up. So when you open this up, it has everything inside of it. This is that multi-charger I was telling you about, where you can plug all your batteries in. Now, it doesn't charge all the batteries at the same time. It actually charges them in succession, and it starts with the one that has the most juice. And I thought that was weird at first, because I thought to myself, you want to start with the one that's the most dead. But DJI's take on it is, we want to get you back in the air as soon as possible. So we're going to top off the one that has the most juice, so you can start flying again while the other 3 charge. So I actually thought that was a great idea once it was explained to me that way. So as you can see here, the case has enough room for a spot for basically everything. Controller down here with built-in joystick protection. The drone folds up right here. You got extra batteries, and in the pocket here, I keep, you know, my charging cable, and then I keep a couple of extra propellers here, because you just never know when you may wreck one or one gets nicked, and they're spinning at incredible RPMs, like sometimes 6,400 RPM. So the smallest bit of nick in your propeller could throw off the vibration, and it'll seem like the drone's still flying fine, but it's not good for something spinning that fast to have any type of nick in it. So I always inspect my propellers, and if they're messed up, I swap them out. These things are relatively inexpensive. The drone is not, so I wouldn't try to, oh, that's a little nick, it's flying fine, I'm gonna keep it. If there's any damage to your propellers, swap them out. Propellers are cheap, the drone is not. This is another cool little piece. You can actually take this, and it plugs into your battery and gives you 2 USB ports. So you can actually use these to charge a phone, charge an iPad, or charge the controller, because the controller itself needs to be charged as well. So that's a pretty cool little device. And again, that's something else that comes with the Fly More combo only. It does not come if you just buy the drone alone. But that's cool because you can take your battery from the drone and use it to charge other USB devices. The controller's great. Now they do have some now. I don't think they work with the original Mavic, but with the new Mavic where the screen is actually built in. This one, you can fly it without attaching the screen, but you're going to want to keep it in line of sight. I always, for the most part, end up taking my drone up and flying somewhere so I can't see it. So what you end up doing for that, your cell phone becomes your screen. These little arms pop out, and they accommodate just about any size phone. And then for iPhones, there's a lightning cable here that connects to the side. So when you actually plug this into the controller, if I was to turn this on, it would automatically, you just turn it on and launch the DJI app, and then you'll be able to see what the drone camera sees here. So you can now fly it where you can't see it. And the drone is going to come with all of the necessary cables. So USB-C and a micro USB. There's not a phone out that won't have a cable that can plug into this controller. So you don't have to have an iPhone to have this drone. That's just what I have. But I have the cables around here somewhere for the other phone, and probably in this pocket here down here. So yeah, that's the USB-C one. And so this one is micro USB. So again, it comes with all the cables necessary to plug in any phone. So again, you don't have to have an iPhone. The app is available on all the app stores, Google Play, the Apple App Store. And so basically, when I'm up flying, I'll be able to see when the drone gets out of my line of sight. I'll be able to see what it sees on my screen here. And then there's buttons up on the top. One is to start recording video. The other is to take a picture. The drone itself, I'll show you in the video, has a spot for a micro SD card. And you can always buy them bigger. I think it comes with one that's 16 gigabytes. But you can buy them, 32 or 64 gigabytes. I want to say somewhere I read it said you don't want to put like 128 gigabyte in there. The maximum that it supports is 64. But you get your couple 64s and you'll be good to go. And then it also comes with the adapter to actually be able to put that smaller micro SD into a regular SD card slot so it can go into your computer so you can transfer your videos. Shoots 4K, 1080p, you can go in and change your settings. Obviously, the better the quality of video, the less video you get. So if you're going to be taking a lot of video and you don't have a lot of space, downgrade it to 720. It's still good HD video. You'll be able to get a lot more. Or if you got plenty of memory cards, you got a computer with you, and every day you can unload the stuff off the memory card, shooting 4K. Even if you don't have a 4K TV now, you may have one, or you may be showing it to somebody with 4K, and to me, it's worth it. Mine stays in 4K. I have memory cards galore because a lot of my gadgets take micro SD cards. So I keep mine in 4K at all times. So that's the controller. Pretty simple to fly. This side moves the drone up and down, and this spins it on its axis. So without the drone actually physically moving left to right, it will rotate the drone left to right. And then this one is forward, back, moves the whole drone left to right. And then the beauty of this drone is when you stop controlling it, it just hovers. And it does all it can to stay as perfectly still as possible. It has a return to home function. The return to home function works in 3 ways. One, I can press the home button here, hold it down, it'll start returning to home. Also, while I'm in the app, there's going to be the same button on the screen of my phone that I can hit and slide over to confirm you want it to return to home. It'll start beeping and saying going home. I don't use the feature very much because it automatically returns home in GPS mode. GPS mode activates all of your obstacle avoidance. For this drone, there's only 4 obstacle avoidance and downward. There's no left or right obstacle avoidance or rear obstacle avoidance like there is in the newer version or the Phantoms. But it's still fine. If you're in GPS mode, the maximum speed you're going to go is about 20 to 22 miles an hour. In sport mode, you can get this thing up to 40, and if you're flying with the wind, I've had it going as fast as 45 miles per hour. But again, in that speed, all of your obstacle avoidance is off. Return to home happens in GPS mode. So if you flew out, 5 minutes in a direction, full speed in sport mode, it's going to take 10 minutes to come back if you use return to home, because the fastest it's going to come back is 22 miles an hour, which is half the speed you flew out. So I always just fly it back. And there's actually a little map down in the bottom of the screen that'll show you a direct line from where you are back to where, from where the drone is back to where you are. So no matter where you end up flying, it'll show you a green line where if you turn around and make sure the drone's arrow is facing that green line and just press forward, it's going to fly back to where you are. And that's pretty cool. And I may try to figure out a way to get that in the video if I can. I don't think I can do it without actually taking it up somewhere and flying it away from me. But anyway, next time I'm doing it, maybe I'll take some screenshots and try to get those in the video, no promises. So that's the controller. And it's pretty nifty. You can rotate your gimbal on its own with these little handles. And there's a bunch of other videos on YouTube about, how to fly the thing. I actually subscribed to a service called Lynda, LYNDA.com for a little while, and I'll put that in the description as well. Because when I was dabbling in photography, it had a bunch of photography classes on it, but there was also one on the drone. And since I only paid like $30 a month or whatever it was, I took as many classes on as many different things as I could up until the time, where I wasn't using it as much and I canceled. But I knew that they do offer a 30-day free trial. So if you do buy the drone, sign up for the trial at least, take the class on the drone, and then, you can cancel at the end of the 30 days. So anyway, that's basically the controller for the most part. You got different little camera functions in there. Power, it'll show you where your power is. You just click one time, it'll show you my battery's at 88%. You pull this out and charge it over here. So you just plug in there to charge it, and that's pretty much it about the controller. Very, very, very simple to fly. It does not take long, even if you're not a gadget person, because again, when you let go, it's going to hover. I've had some less expensive ones that I lost, but it's like when you press up and you let up go, the joystick returns to the center, but the drone keeps going up. It keeps doing the last command you gave it. So, you press left, you let left go, it keeps going left. So you have to constantly adjust, and if you just let go, it's going to keep doing whatever the last thing you were doing was, and there was no auto return home function. So I've lost a couple of, $40, $50 one, whatever. You spend this much money on one, it's just loaded with technology. The other two ways, real quick, that the return to home function works. I told you the first way is pressing the button. The second way is the drone has an intelligent flight battery. So if it knows it's only got enough juice to get back to where it take off from, it will automatically start returning to home. So you can't even fly it and it dies and then falls out of the sky. It won't happen. You get far enough out. I flew across the river one time. I was doing some work, and I was on the other side of St. Vincent's Hospital here in Jacksonville. And my wife works at St. Vincent's, so I was trying to fly over to her break room window and have her come out and see the drone and try to snap a picture of it through the window. Well, didn't realize the St. John's River was as wide as it was at that moment. I see a big hospital, it looked like it's right there, but when you start flying, you realize it's about 2.5 miles away. So the drone has a 4.3 mile range, but because I was flying over the river and it was windy, it used a lot of battery, just trying to keep itself stable. And so by the time I got across the river, it automatically said, hey, you only have enough battery to get back. And it started beeping. And so I basically turned it around, and instead of letting it fly back itself, I canceled the return to home and just, flew back on my own, because again, I can go faster in sport mode than the return to home does. So, but it was definitely telling me, hey, you only have enough juice to get back to home. And then the other way, it would automatically return to home. If for whatever reason you're in mid-flight and the drone disconnects from the controller, which happens from time to time, it'll automatically start returning to home. A lot of times, though, it'll return about, it'll start a third of the way back. It will reconnect, and then you can cancel the return to home and start flying it yourself. So I think that's it for the controller. If I think of anything else, I'll grab it. It's just going to be right here. All right, so the drone. Part of the reason I said I chose the Mavic was because of this. Again, it fit in here if you wanted to keep this case. And the Phantom is about the size of this case, except taller. So this is ultra portable. We've taken this thing to Vegas. We've been to most recently Rotan, Honduras, Cozumel, and Costa Maya, and Nassau, Bahamas. Previous cruise, we took it to Aruba, Curacao, Grand Turk, and the Dominican Republic. And all those videos will be posted at the end of this video. So this is what the drone looks like. You basically pull the first two arms out first, your bottom two arms out, and there is the DJI Mavic Pro. Camera's in the front, so you always want to keep your protective lens on at all. I mean, until you get ready to fly, because you want to protect that gimbal. And again, as you're flying, this thing is absorbing all of the motion as best as possible. So some of my videos, you'll see how smooth it flies back. And then once you actually turn it on and stuff, the propellers lock or whatever. As it starts to spin, the centrifugal force keeps them out. So I know they look all flimsy now, but that's just for folding purposes. When they start spinning, they lock and this thing takes off great. Just press these two little buttons on the side, your battery comes out, and I said you swap them out and be right back to flying at no time. You press the button here once, it'll show you where your battery is. So that one's about 75%, and that one is full. So you just press it one time to get where your battery status, and then you press and hold, click one time and then press again and hold to actually turn the drone on. So that will look something like, and you'll see the gimbal will kind of calibrate itself. The propellers kind of shake there a little bit, and you get that startup sound. And then, yeah, she's basically ready to go. Like I say again, as these start to spin, once you do your flight commands, it'll start to spin and they lock out, and she'll take right off. And you turn it off the same way, one quick click and then a click and hold. So if you just click once, you're just checking the battery status. So again, part of the reason I purchased this drone is because of that portability. You can fold it up and take it with you whenever you want to go somewhere. And I like to always have it and not have this big, huge suitcase. This is your charger. You can charge one battery at a time. So like you don't get the Fly More combo, you'll just get this part, and you have to plug each battery in individually. And then there's also two USB spots here. So you can plug in and have the charger plugged in. You can have your phone plugged into another iPad, whatever you want. There's actually brackets that you can buy that will fit in here and allow you to attach an iPad to this. You just end up having to either get a longer cable over here or use your regular charging cable. There's actually, I'm not sure if y'all gonna be able to see this in the video, but there's actually a USB port right here where you can plug in your regular iPad cable, run it around, and then plug it into the iPad. But you're going to need a special mount that goes into here and has like a bar that comes out and a bracket that you put the iPad in. And I did have one of those that actually broke, but I was flying with my iPad at one point, which is pretty cool. So you can, again, two USB ports, one here, you can plug it, a phone, you can plug the charger in, you can plug in an iPad, anything that charges off USB. One battery at a time. Now, if you want to you end up doing the Fly More combo and you get the multi-charger, it plugs in right back here. And then what you do is it plugs in, and then you can take your batteries and snap each one into a side here so all four are in, and then again it's gonna charge the most full one first to try to get one battery back to 100%, and then it'll go down the line. The one that's 75, it'll top it off. You got one at 50, it'll fill it up. You got one that's dead, it'll try to fill it up last, so that basically it gets one to full as soon as possible. And you have all four plugged in. Now, I did see on Amazon they sell some that supposedly charge all of them at the same time, but I figure that's probably not good. There's a reason that DJI's doesn't do it, so I've never bothered with those. And again, 27-minute flight time. By the time you run out of all four batteries, one of them, the first one you put on the charger, is basically ready to go again. So I've never had an issue where I wanted to fly and didn't have juice. So I never felt the need for the one that actually charges them all simultaneously. This has been more than sufficient for me. I think that's about it. Again, like I said, it'll come with the charger for the battery, for the controller. And so just pop that out, plug this in, she'll start charging. It comes with the adapter for you to be able to take the SD card out, and I'll show y'all real quick where that is. So this is the adapter, and actually I told you I have extra memory cards. I actually have one in the drone and then one right here. This is a 16 gigabyte. This is the adapter, so when you pull that out of the drone, You slide this in here, goes into your computer, and then you just take all the videos off, and now your memory card is freed up again for you to go shoot more. Even more extra propellers. I told you they're cheap, and you know they can be crucial in flight. So these as well as these. I mean, again, you can't have too many propellers, and you don't want to, you know, be using, because the drone will still fly with a nick propeller. You know, you have a little nick in there, or the end of it got clipped off, it'll still fly. Like this one got a nick, so that's probably gonna get replaced. It'll still fly, but it's for something spinning at 6,400 RPMs. It's not good for it to have any type of nick, because at that speed, it's creating crazy vibrations that's just not good for your $1,000 drone over a $20 propeller. So yeah, I always keep extra propellers, and then as soon as I use, you know, a pair, I buy 2 more pairs, you know, and that's why I have so many. I think that is about it. Again, it's super easy to fly. They say the range on it is 4.3 miles. The furthest I've ever actually flown it from where I was standing was 2.5. And it's not that I don't think it can go that far, what they claim, because I don't think they'd be claiming it if it couldn't do it. It's just where I live in a city, and there's so much just interference. And even when I took it up in Vegas, man, it wouldn't go very far at all. And I don't know if it was because of the proximity to the airport or what, but it wouldn't go very far at all. And the time I flew at 2.5 miles, I was down Main Street here in Jacksonville, and I was at about probably like 44th and Main. I flew it down to 4th and Main. And so, yeah, it said I was like, I don't remember, 25,000 feet or something like that away from where I was standing. And so, yeah, I think because mostly that was like line of sight, and there wasn't many big buildings in the way. So maybe one day I'll try to take it down to the beach where, you know, it's kind of open, and I can just, you know, fly down to the beach and see how far I can get it away from it before it disconnects. That's another thing about the Mavic too. They said it has much better connectivity. The battery generally lasts, they say, 27 minutes. I feel like sometimes I've flown it for longer than that, but it's also going to depend on, you know, how much wind it's fighting, and whether you're in sport mode or GPS mode. Those all make a difference. Yeah, because like, you know, let's say when I flew across the river that day, it was fighting a lot of wind. So as soon as I got over there, it felt like I was flying for about 12 minutes, and 10, 12 minutes, and it said, hey, you only got enough battery to get back. So I probably lost 3 to 5 minutes of flight time just because of how windy it was. But I mean, I wouldn't say have any reservations about getting them. Hey, I'm not a tech person. I get that I am a tech person, so you may be thinking, well, it comes easy to you to fly because you're a tech guy. I've literally taught people how to fly this thing in 5 minutes. And I mean, they're obviously not as good as me, you know, off of a 5-minute course, but they have the basics down. And I just tell them, while you're starting out, get the thing going, get it so far up in the sky that there's nothing to hit. You know, if the tallest tree is, you know, 80 feet, get it up to 100. And that way you can really feel the controls out, and there's nothing to run into. And once you get better, you can come back down and, you know, fly it right over a car or under a tree limb or whatever. And, you know, worst case scenario, fly it in GPS mode. It's going to be a little bit slower, but it's quicker to react, and it's got that forward obstacle avoidance. So if you almost hit a tree, it's going to stop if it's in GPS mode, and it'll hover because you're about to hit a tree. So yeah, I mean, I highly recommend it. If $1,000 is a little too much for something that you're not going to use that much, if you go to the DJI website, I'll put the link to the DJI website in the description, and one to this particular drone. They do have one, the Spark, that starts out at $499. And you think, oh, I don't want the cheap one. If it's a DJI drone, it's less expensive. I would never use the word cheap and DJI in the same sentence. So it's a less expensive drone, because DJI doesn't make anything cheap. I think that is about it. If there's anything I didn't touch on, post a question in the comments or email us, y'allalwaysgone@gmail.com. We're also on Instagram and Facebook at y'allalwaysgone. And again, I know it's not a tech website, but I use this particular piece of tech for traveling, so that's why I'm talking about it. And you know, we were at the cruise, and we were in the Bahamas, and I did a flyover. A lot of people were asking questions. I said, hey, I'll do a review when I get home, because you know, I don't want to be saying the same over and over and over again. Boom, just make a video, and now you can watch it. And I only have to say all this once. there's only at least one more piece of tech we're going to review. I'm actually recording this right now on the DJI Osmo Pocket. And if you follow us on Instagram or I think I might have posted it on my personal page, but I posted a picture of it in my hand and said, hey, I'll be doing a review of this when we get back. It's basically, DJI took this camera, the stabilization, the gimbal, the 3-axis gyroscope, and made a handheld version of it. And so you can get that same buttery smooth image quality. So if you're walking, it's not bouncing, the video is smooth, and you get that same quality, but with a handheld version. And I'm recording this video right now I'm looking at it. And so we're going to review that piece of tech next. And that'll probably for a little while be the end of our tech reviews. But again, I did it because it ties into our travels, because if you look at the Symphony of the Seas video, our comparison video, all of the videos I insert there were taken on the DJI Osmo Pockets. So I think that's it. Click the subscribe button below. If there's any questions you have about drones or this particular drone that I didn't answer, comment below. Click subscribe. Share to anybody you think about getting a drone. If you want somebody to buy you one for Christmas, send them this video with the subject hint hint or something like that, and we'll be hitting y'all up with more videos in the future. Thanks for watching. Click subscribe, share, follow on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Thank you.